What is up, guys? Cody here. I'm outside on the beautiful beaches of Louisiana, where sand don't feel like sand, it feels like clay. But hey, that's all right. Beautiful Lake Pontchartrain. It's a beautiful day. I have one thing that I want to talk about today, and it's an aspect of leadership that is probably the beginning points of it. One of the most important points of leadership. It's called extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is when a leader takes full responsibility for his or her team. Extreme ownership is when a leader does not make excuses for why his or her team is or is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. See, a leader is responsible for everything. A leader is responsible for the success, the failures. A leader that practices extreme ownership owns everything on his or her team. A leader that practices extreme ownership takes full responsibility for all the subordinates on their team, for every person that leader is in charge of. Now, this applies to all aspects of life. This can apply to your business, your organization. Maybe you work at a certain place and you're in charge of a team. This can apply to your kids, raising a family. This applies to relationships. And I'll tell you how. If you have children, you're trying to raise these children, but they're fucking up, right? They're not making the grades. They're not making the team. They're acting out. You take them to restaurants, you take them to stores, and they're just being little pieces of shit. Yeah, he said it. He fucking said it. If your kids are being pieces of shit, it's not because they're pieces of shit. It's because you are not taking control of your children. You're not being the leader. You are not looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? This is my fault. This is my fault my kids aren't being the way that I want them to be. If you're running a team, you have subordinates, you have people below you, and they're not making production. They're not being productive at all. They're not meeting quotas. They're not in sales. They're not doing anything that they're supposed to be doing. It is not for you to blame the subordinates. It's up to the leader to provide the training, the tools, the resources necessary. It's up to the leader to mentor that associate or that person that is not making expectations. The leader that takes full responsibility is one that takes full ownership. Extreme ownership. This is what extreme ownership is all about. It's all about taking full responsibility for everything. So if that person's not up to standards, whether it be your child, a person you're in a relationship with, a person that you're mentoring, it's up to you as a leader to be in control of the situation and look inside of yourself and figure out what is it that I can do to help this person succeed. That's what taking extreme ownership is all about. Now, say you're a great leader. Your fucking team is winning. Your team is so successful, it's going beyond the reaches of whatever you thought you could expect it to be. Whatever people above you expected it to be. A leader, a great leader, is humble, and he does not take responsibility for the successes of their team, but rather he bestows that upon his subordinates. If your child goes from making shitty grades to making great, awesome A's and B's, it is not your success. It is your child's success. If your child improves his behavior, it's up to you to encourage him to continue to do that. It's a beautiful thing when people improve. When people become who they want to be, rather than who they just dream to be. When people grow up and they decide to actually do something with their life, they take control. Leaders create more leaders. That's right. Leaders create more leaders. Now, ownership, taking complete ownership, this is going to take a great deal of humility, really, I guess is the word we'd call it. It's going to take a great deal of courage. You're not going to want to take complete ownership sometimes, but the greatest leaders out there do. The ones who run the best teams, they do. They set ego aside and they build the best team possible. Now, when you do this, you inspire your team. You mentor the people who perform lower than standards. You coach them. You create a team that is capable of anything. I'll give you a life example. I work in a certain place, and there's two people that I'm going to talk about during this particular time. Now, where I work, teamwork is one of the greatest things. If you don't have teamwork, if you don't have a strong team, your shift is not going to be successful. If you don't have a strong leader, your team is not going to be successful. So, for instance, one person, my mentor, he is a person that takes extreme ownership. He is a person who comes to work every day and thinks about what he can do to make his team better. And he does that. He exercises that. Now, this is a strong fucking leader. This guy doesn't fuck around. When you do something bad, when you fuck up, he holds you accountable. But when you do something great, he praises you. And when we have a hard day at work, he's right there next to us, working with us. He's not above us, but rather with us. He leads us. He's a strong person, and he has actually ran the number 3 shift in the entire nationwide company because of his attitude of extreme ownership. On the other hand, I have another person, another leader in the company, and he blames everyone else for his faults. One particular day, I was asked to do a job by him, and he asked me to do it when it was kind of too late. We had certain times to meet. We had certain times to meet, and he asked me to do this particular job way too late. So he comes up to me while I'm doing my job, and he says, "Cody, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not doing your job the way you're supposed to be doing. You're 2 trucks behind. I need you to hurry the fuck up." I looked at him and I said, "You know what? This is your fault. I'm doing the best job that I can do, but you took too long to make a decision to put me up sooner." And you know what? Nobody respects this person. Nobody's respected this person since he became a leader. The reason nobody respects him is because he does not take full ownership. That's what this video is about. Taking full ownership in your entire life, in your business, with your kids. If your team fails, it's not because your team failed. It's because you failed your team. And that's what extreme ownership is. Taking control in your life and owning it. If you take extreme ownership in your own life, then you'll get your fucking ass off the couch. You'll stop smoking weed. You'll stop drinking and partying. You'll do exactly what you need to do to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And that's what extreme ownership is. So it's a beautiful day. I'm out here on the beaches of Louisiana. Love yourself. Enjoy your motherfucking life. Be your greatest version. That's what it takes to be the best you can be. I love all of you. Peace. God, I just don't want to end the video because it's so fucking amazing. I tell you what, I'll take a few more shots of the area that I'm in, and you can just really get a feel of what I'm doing here.